Hello and welcome to the Unfazed Review Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Emmett.
And today, it's been a while.
It's been a long time. This has been the longest we've gone without a podcast in as far as I can remember. Since we started going hard on the podcast.
Yeah, I think the last one we did was Stuck in the Airport podcast for the Vegas trip, which I don't know if we really recapped on it.
Yeah, we should talk about it, yeah.
Let's talk about Vegas.
That's why we hadn't done a podcast, because we were editing all those videos.
Yes.
It was 2 airport videos, and then it was 5 Vegas videos, so.
Yeah, and it was a lot of people, I know were commenting, oh, when are you boys getting back? We'd already been back for a while.
Right.
But we just had a backlog of videos that we were sitting on. Yeah. And it was kind of some of the videos take longer to edit than others. Yeah. So it was kind of the phone video is easy. There was actually one I finished, I think it was the 12 hours in the airport video. That next night, I edited that in the hotel room in 15 minutes. No biggie on the phone. But when it comes to the stuff on the Canon, that's when it takes a little bit longer.
And we were going to do that while we were in Vegas. We wanted to hang out. So
you want to party.
We waited for the editing until we got back.
And then you get back, and that's when it's okay, we'll dole them out. We'll Dolomite.
But yeah, we should recap Vegas.
Sure, it was fun. Yeah, let's kick it off. Man. Yeah, let's talk about it.
So it was what you expect in a way, but not as. It was a little more comfortable, I would say. And movies, I always make it look like wherever the characters in a film happen to be, there's a specific event almost going on there.
Yeah.
That's the vibe you get.
Yeah.
Everything's so blown out of proportion, and it's cool. It's just it's a constant party. Mm-hmm. But you can just walk around freely, hang out. There's plenty of stuff to do. It was particularly busy while we were there.
Yeah, it was slamming.
And
slamming busy.
Yeah. And speaking of busy, the mall we love to go to was the busiest we've ever seen it today. There's something going on. Yeah. Everyone's just still itching to just get out and do shit.
Yeah.
And there's the basketball games. I think that was something.
Yes.
But
anytime I see YouTubers that are stuck in California and they're I just pray things will get back to normal. I'm just go to Arizona or Nevada, dude. Things are back to normal times 20.
Yeah, exactly.
No masks, except for a few random people walking around. I would say 95% are maskless.
Totally.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
And then, imagine the normal people on a summer Saturday day at the mall, and I would say times 10.
Yeah.
It's it's busy as shit. So
it's crazy.
Things are back to normal plus some.
Yeah.
At least here. And for any of you guys out of state or out of country, might be time to take a little trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because things are popping over here.
They're popping.
Yeah.
And we went right before the airport surges started coming back up. So the prices were pretty good, I think.
Yeah, we got pretty fortunate. Yeah. And even the hotel we stayed at, because we booked technically 2 extra nights.
Right. Yeah.
And Treasure Island was a steal.
Treasure Island
was super cheap. It would just cost 2 doubloons. It was great.
And then there was that one guy who went on a shooting spree days after we left.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned in the Discord. That was weird. Yeah. So we went in right at the right time.
We went at a good time. Yeah. We went at a good time.
Very interesting.
I said, if that fucker would have messed with us, we would have pushed him off the Ferris wheel.
That's right. Yeah.
He would have splattered and we would have laughed.
Yeah.
We would have.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. It's kind of it's like when we go out to the clubs here, but you go out to the clubs for 4 or 5 days straight. I feel like that's
exactly.
What it is. It's just a large. It's a big party.
Yeah.
The weird thing that was kind of eerie to me though is that as soon as you leave the strip, literally across the street from where the strip district technically ends.
Yeah.
The neighborhood was terrible.
Yeah.
All the apartments were there was broken glass, tenement type shit. It was really bad.
Yeah, it gets shitty.
Yeah,
it was very pocket time.
Yeah. It was when we were driving back in the taxi after we were hanging out at the Needle. What was it called?
Stratosphere.
Stratosphere. Yeah. Yeah, right across from the Stratosphere, literally just across the street from the Stratosphere, were tons of shitty apartments. Yeah. It was just so interesting.
Yeah.
Terrible apartments, and then literally the Stratosphere. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Very surreal in a way.
Quite the inequality in terms of the wealth there.
Yeah.
But I've heard there's some people who love living in Vegas, and I guess the further north and further away from the strip you go, there are nice residential areas. So it depends, but I guess that surrounding area, kind of like downtown Phoenix, there's just this shit that surrounds it. And then you go a little further and there's nice neighborhoods, So it depends where you go and who you know.
Yeah, all the bartenders and stuff we talked to, they said they lived at least half an hour out or something.
Yeah.
Which seems cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think if you lived there, you'd have to like most people there, not go there too often, not go to Fremont or not go to the Strip. It would be almost like a treat, kind of like how we treat the clubs here, except on a much bigger scale, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But it would be you'd go and you'd have your neighborhood bars, you'd have your places you go hang out, you do your regular life, and then I would say if we were there, it'd be maybe once every month or two, go to the Strip.
Yeah.
And go and do it up or go see a show or whatever.
Agreed.
Fill in the blank. But I'm sure it loses its luster to some extent. But I don't know. It would take a while for me. I love that place.
Yeah.
I could do it for a couple of years, probably.
It is cool. And then I think this was also specific to the time that we were there, but like prices were like way up for everything. Everything was very expensive. Yeah.
It cost like double what I anticipated. I was like, oh.
But, I mean, you're kind of expecting to drop a lot because it's Vegas. That's what it is kind of about. So it didn't really put a cramp on our style, but it was noticeable.
It was noticeable. It did seem like they were compensating for things being closed.
Yeah, I think they were, for sure.
Yeah, like the cost of food, the cost of rides, like the cost of everything. I was kind of like, oh, shit. But it was totally worth it, though. And, like, my grandma would always say, she's like, you don't really regret the cost of a trip. You just remember the positive memories.
Right.
And it's like, it's so true. Like a year later, I'm not going to be like, oh, that extra money added up. I'd be like, no, man, we had a good time.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
And it's like, you gotta focus on the experience.
Yeah. Me freaking out on the Ferris wheel.
That was fun.
that was fun.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite part, man. I really enjoyed just bopping around Treasure Island. We didn't win shit gambling. Like, we had no luck gambling.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to win it.
The food was pretty good. We ate pretty good food on the trip.
Yeah, food was great, dude. Yeah.
I really enjoyed. Yeah, actually, the stuff that was like not partying, I really like. It stands out more in my mind. Like the Ferris wheel, I loved. Zach Bagans bagels. The haunted kind with Manson's ashes.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole trip, and that was like creepy, super cool. If you guys haven't seen the video, check it out. It's one we did, 4 or 5 videos back, of the Haunted Museum. And if you want to hear us talk more in depth about it, we dedicated an entire video to talking about it and reviewing it, and you get to see a little bit of it as well.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out if you're interested in the haunted aspect of the trip, because it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And like you were saying, it would be really cool to see a show there, and as a musician, it would be so cool to play a show there. Like, I was thinking about that, like how fucking incredible that would be.
Yeah. That'd be awesome,
Yeah.
We've only seen one concert in Vegas so far, and it was Billy Idol with Tarek.
Oh, yeah.
He and I saw it at Billy Idol at the House of Blues in Vegas.
That is sick.
At the, where is it? It's either at the MGM or, I'm not sure, somewhere over there. But really good show, man, and that was a few years ago. But I would love to go back and see a concert there. Yeah, I know some bands are doing residencies. We saw like Sting was coming. Rod Stewart was going to play at that Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. I know Sammy Hagar is going to do a Stratosphere residency, which would be pretty bad. Cabo Wabo,
Cabo Wabo
was fun. We had Mescal at Cabo Wabo, and it was
we did.
Very,
it was really good.
It was intense, man.
Yeah.
It's like smoky. It's like smoked meat.
Yeah, smoked salmon type thing.
Yeah, it was good, but it's a bit much. I can't do it all the time.
Yeah, and it was a little too big for what it was. Like, It's nice, and
it's
then
like something you'd want to sip.
Yeah,
you don't want a big margarita.
You don't want to be full of it. Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you start vomiting this wood charred flavor.
And the other thing is that it was huge. You're right. There's a lot. Like there was a ton of buildings we didn't even like touch on because there was so much.
Yeah, you try to see it all, and we were there. Yeah. I mean, technically, really doing it up Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then half the day Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago, and still, I mean, we just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I think we saw all the big major things that we wanted to see, but still, it's like you missed like Luxor, Tropicana, Excalibur, MGM. Like, there's still a whole.
Right.
I mean, you could spend another week there easy.
Yeah, which is cool.
You'd probably get burned out, but it'd be freaking awesome. But I'm definitely down to go back in a couple months.
Yeah, and there is a lot you can do without like spending a lot of money. Like again, just walking around wherever you want is free technically. You can see all of it and not spend a dime.
You can go into any casino, no restrictions. I mean, unless it's like a private club or something like that, or some of the pools. You got to be a guest to go to or pay to go to. But for the most part, if you just want to do it on the cheap and sightsee and stick to a budget, like totally, you can totally do it.
Yeah.
If you're not a gambler, but we gambled a bit, but. It was fun.
And the one thing I will say it was underwhelming were like all the dressed up girls.
Yeah.
They were kind of like ghetto, not that. In the movies again, they're always like these tall blondes. Yeah, like, hey.
I'm sure if they were actually at a show. Like, if it was like a show that had like burlesque girls or whatever, they'd be hotties and they'd be fit. But I feel like these are girls that are like, hey girls, you want to make some money? And then they've got to like blow a dude in a dark trailer. Yeah. And then they like give them this nasty outfit and they're like, get out there.
They're all like out of shape and yelling at you to take pictures with them.
Hey, I've got bruises on my hips. Like, oh Christ, get away from me.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, trashy for sure. But I mean, those are just the street performers. It's like, you want to be the real Vegas girl? And they're like kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Mickey Mouse taking their head off and it's the Mexican lady. and then there's some like kind of aggressive street performers. Like I feel
all the
like
bartenders are beautiful though.
They were very lovely.
Which is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Because you think like the girls they're literally there to be like a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And they're like the not that great ones, but then like the bartenders are like gorgeous.
There were some hotties. Yeah. Our favorite place that we ate at, like I said this in a couple other videos, but I will reiterate, Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Over near Link and near the Flamingo, technically on the same side of the Flamingo. Freaking fantastic service. Not just because the girls were sexy, but like literally they were very attentive, and even the dudes that were like bussing and stuff, super on top of it, like the food runners and everything. Fantastic service and really good food.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, for a Twin Peaks like bar fare, freaking fantastic.
Yeah. The waitresses were like apologizing to us because they thought they were being too slow. But like, no, you're fine.
Like, please, Unfazed, don't hurt us.
Yeah, and the guy at the front was really nice to us. And usually, in those situations, like Hooters and stuff like that, the guys are really defensive of the girls, like preemptively defensive, and I always hate that.
Kind of dickish.
It's like kind of the point. Like the point of the establishment is, hey, there's hot girls.
Yeah.
And immediately, like, there's a guy that wants to beat you up if you look at the hot girls.
Yeah.
But at this place,
what'd you say to her?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I've been trying to get with her for 2.5 years, brother.
You can eat here, but you can't look at the girls. There's tits are hanging out.
Yeah.
It's weird. But no, the guys, they were really, really nice. And that one dude, like, got us a place.
Good
like,
table, quick.
Minutes,
I was like, hey man, can you fit us in? He's like, yeah, sure, right over. Really, really good trip, man. I had fun. I hope it lived at least halfway lived up to your expectations.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I wasn't expecting anything necessarily.
It was great. Yeah, we always go hard. We definitely drank like fish while we were there.
Yep.
Hence, while I'm in my my sober July now,
good
which
man.
is great. Feeling good, feeling fresh. But yeah, we went pretty hard. We partied like some rock stars. Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
totally worth it. And I'd be down to go back maybe in the fall or even in the winter. Because it was hotter than hell. Like it's hot as shit here right now, but I think there was just like 5 or 6 degrees cooler. It was still hot.
Yeah. And the demographics of people were all over the map too.
Yeah.
A lot more families than I would have thought, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
But
a lot of big black ladies with giant tall drinks walking around, you know.
Totally.
Wearing a lot of skimpy clothes that they shouldn't have been wearing. But then you got the mix of like younger guys like us, and then you got families, and you got like older people, and it's like it's quite the melting pot of people who want to go vacation and people who want to go party, you know. But it was fun, man. I
don't know. When we went to the pool on the last day, the guy gave us like double shots. I don't know if he did it without telling us, and neither of us had eaten anything.
I think they were triples.
Yeah,
I like remember up to a point.
You hard, yeah.
I remember up to a point, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So I don't know how much you remember of this, but there was all that drama at the pool.
Vaguely.
Do you remember?
Vaguely, yeah.
There was that woman, and speaking of families, there was that like overly tan MILF.
She was like a hardcore MILF
who was there with her daughter.
Yeah, and the daughter was like clearly underage and like shouldn't have been in that situation.
Yeah, it was weird. And there was also, and then the MILF was there with like her older friends who were kind of gross. And then there was this, I forget this guy's name. What was it called? Like Gabe or something. Remember that guy?
He was like kind of like latched onto us a little bit. He was like talking to us for a little bit, and then he started hitting on the MILF.
He started hitting on the MILF.
And the Gabe guy.
Yes. And Gabe was with his friend named, we'll call her Ashley. She was with a sun hat. She was gone, dude.
Yeah.
She was really messed up.
She was faded.
The whole, even like when we got there, she was like, it was too much, and then she kept drinking anyway. But so it was them, and then it was the MILF and her daughter.
Yeah.
And then, and then there was that we both got the same vibe from this guy. He is the guy who would have been like the preemptively defensive not bartender, but he could have been a bartender.
Friend that would like fight for a girl that he's not even with.
Yeah. So there was this older guy who was kind of like tubby, big beard, 40-something, I want to say. He was there with, I think, his wife, and he kept trying to hit on Ashley. Remember, he was like, I guess he was saying like she really liked her, and he wanted her to come with them and stuff, which was super screwed up.
Swinger.
Yeah. And we were like talking to her, and I remember he kept trying to like usurp the conversation. He would come over and like we would try to include him, and he like wouldn't talk to us. I don't know how much you remember of that.
No, I don't.
But yeah, you were like trying to be nice to him. You were talking to him, and he was like,
I remember bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We drank a lot.
Yeah.
Then I started like coming to, and suddenly it was like we were at Gillies.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was very surreal. So
Yeah.
he kept on trying to get this girl to like come with him and his wife to like do a three-way or something. And then the MILF saw it go down, and then she turned it into this big thing. She like called security and had the guy removed. Yeah, it was weird.
Wow.
And then actually the girl who was totally gone and was way too drunk, like passed out one of the little cots.
Yeah.
And the MILF was like checking up on her, like being the mother. And
I kind of remember that. I remember a guy being escorted out.
And then the Gabe guy, we were kind of back and forth. We were doing our rounds around the pool.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
We
went back to the
were
hotel.
bopping.
Yeah,
We were bopping.
but the Gabe guy at one point told us that he like had sex with the MILF in the pool.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you?
No.
I was like, I think he was lying.
Oh yeah.
I think he was lying, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We met some strange characters.
Yeah. I never like. Been in a pool with a bunch of other drunk adults. Like that. It was really weird.
It was a weird.
And then there was the daughter. The daughter was just like hanging out. It was almost uncomfortable because there was like all this like sexual deviant adult content going on, and then every once in a while there's like a kid swims by.
Yeah,
It was really weird.
Yeah. So we didn't partake in any like debauchery like that.
No. Yeah.
But we were definitely around a lot out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't go too crazy in that respect, but we definitely got hammered.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to check out one of the Topless pools. They offered them.
Yeah,
but they're like really exclusive and hard to get into.
It was
like,
tough.
They're really hard
I know they had. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing some boobies, but we only saw fat man boobies. I wanted to see some lady boobies.
And honestly, it wasn't even worth it. Like there was a big cover charge, and they were only open at certain times a day.
Yeah, I know. Like if you go,
I
know if you go to the Wynn and then I think the Mirage, if you're staying there, then you have access to those pools, and I think it might be like an extra fee, or you have exclusive access to it. Yeah. But like a person walking off the strip going in, they're like, no.
Yeah.
So we walked into a few places and asked, and they're like, oh yeah, if you're staying here, but it was like places we weren't, like the Wynn or places that were a little further away. So we were just kind of like, forget it, we'll go to the regular pool, and we still ended up having fun.
It was great. I almost preferred it like that. I mean, there was sort of that weird dynamic, but it was still just nice to be at a regular pool. I think. Because of the fact that they're always like really busy and hard to get into, I feel like if you did get into one, it would be mostly guys trying to see boobies. And I also think that the boobies would probably be underwhelming.
Yeah,
you know. So like we're expecting like the scene in a '90s flick when the guys like stumble upon this beautiful paradise and all these, but it's probably not going to be like.
It's probably like a bunch of old people around like, oh shit, those are down to the ground.
Yeah, the old people that are like, oh,
gorilla tits.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, so at the end of the day, I think. For a Vegas trip, I think really we were fairly wholesome.
Very wholesome, yeah.
Aside from getting schmammered a few times and getting drunk, I mean, it's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We were pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were able to fit in like a cool vlog every single day, which I liked.
Yeah.
It was like we were able to give you a realistic look at what it was like. Got to see some of the different casinos and hotels, and then did some of the random stuff.
The thing we were both most excited for was just eating good food.
Yeah,
we really wanted to do the buffet, which
really
we also couldn't do. They said they were like booked for months.
Yeah,
which was crazy.
It was crazy because we ran into some friends there that I hadn't seen in years, and they got into there no problem.
Wow.
And I was like, but they're girls. And I was like, all right, well maybe they had a reservation I didn't know about. Who knows? But I know for us walking up, we asked, can we get into the Caesars buffet? And the lady was like, ha ha ha. She's like, maybe in 2.5 months. And I was like,
yeah,
all right then.
That is the one downside if you're a guy. Like every establishment within Vegas has that club rule where they need that healthy ratio of men and women.
Yeah.
So like they always let women into things, but then if there's a guy, they gotta like check and see.
That's
if
kind of like here too.
Yeah, no, it is like here. Yeah, but every establishment, even if it's not a club or a bar in Vegas, I feel like kind of operates like that. Like the pools and everything, they gotta make sure there's plenty of women.
Yeah.
Which is a little. Yeah, I don't know.
Those sexist bastards.
Like, I'm not necessarily trying to go into every place just, like, look at women and have sex. Like, we're just trying to hang out.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, well. But one thing I will say that we noticed about the customer service out there, I feel like here in Arizona and definitely in California, and then also my experience in Denver, Colorado, a lot of times servers either don't care about you or they treat guys like us like shit.
Very true.
Like they're very blatantly rude. Like here in Scottsdale,
the people here are mean.
Yeah, the people here are mean. I've had more so rude servers and bad servers here in Colorado, and then over in California, they're more just like they don't give a shit about you and they're inattentive and they just expect a big tip. Generally speaking. Over there, they're very, at least all the places we went, they were very on top of it. They were very nice.
Very welcoming.
Every time I've gone to Vegas, for the most part, the customer service has been pretty darn good. And then, especially compared to here. Because here it's like, young guys going into a place, they kind of treat us like crap sometimes.
Always.
Yeah. Not everywhere. There's a few places we frequent a lot where they're cool. But like bars and stuff, it's like...
We both have a mutual hatred for Mill Avenue in Tempe.
Hate it.
It's the most like defensive, unwelcung place I think I can think of.
As soon as you get there, they just like... It's almost like they can smell you're an outsider. Yeah. And they just treat you like shit. Everyone there's a fucking dickhead.
They are. They really are, yeah. And then, like the old town clubs, we have fun, but even that... Even that one, it's like...
that one you got to go in with a real healthy mindset because you're surrounded by douchebaggery.
Yeah, and you should go in with like a group of friends because you're probably not going to...
Yeah, otherwise you'll be outnumbered.
Yeah. It's weird because, places like Vegas and then in Austin where we had probably the best time.
Austin was one of the best times I've had in my life.
You would think in places like that, what you're trying to do is meet new people.
Yeah.
But what happens, at least in the clubs here, is that they come with their like... predetermined group of friends and then just like stay with that and everyone else is weird, which like defeats the whole purpose.
If you want to do that, go party at your house.
Yeah, literally, I'd prefer that.
But yeah, I would say literally, I don't know about you, but one of the best times I ever had in like a clubbing bar environment was Austin, Texas.
Totally.
Like nicest, hottest girls I've ever seen in my life. Like we're talking like 10s that were friendly and like everyone it was just good vibes all around, man, and really, really quality places to go to also.
Those girls were grinding on us and then they were like, our dad's here, we gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like weird.
Yeah.
But it was great.
But they were these hot, like amazing, like Brazilian women.
Oh, they came up to our room and showed us how to like do the salsa or some shit.
And that was, gosh, when did we go to that? That was like
English woman.
6 years ago?
Yeah, there was a lot.
But we had no problem meeting ladies there, especially hot ladies.
Yeah.
Especially compared to girls here. I'm like, they were great.
Yeah, and I remember when we were leaving that place, I think the taxi driver or whatever who was taking us to the airport mentioned something about how Austin was like expanding, like they were planning to have a lot more people come in, and now
it's a
I think it's like it's huge. So I hope it's retained that same like vibrance.
I hope so. Yeah, it's been a long time. I think we went there like
2016.
Was it? I think it was almost. 15. I almost want to say longer.
I think it was. It was 15. Because I was at U of A. Yeah. And when I first started at U of A, it was 2015. It was October.
Wow, so it's
2015.
6 years?
Yeah, holy shit.
So, anyway, you guys, we're due for an Austin trip.
We really are.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
We should make that one from this date, from July 2021. Between now and July of next year, we should go to Austin at some point.
I'm scared, though, because we got these rose-tinted glasses with it, you know?
It's okay.
So, I don't know. I hope it'll be just as good. But...
I mean, I almost feel like you can't go in trying to replicate anything with any place. Because, like, we've all had that perfect trip or gone to that perfect place where it's like, oh, that was 10 out of 10 amazing.
Yeah.
You can't try... Because I remember doing that before with bars and clubs and, like, meeting chicks or, like, having just an awesome time and then going back, a week later and having a shitty time.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't always try to get that, 'cause sometimes it's lightning in a bottle, But I think if you just go in with a happy mindset, you'll have a good time.
The other thing that I think made it what it was is that we weren't looking for that. We were there for the film festival.
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, literally one day we were walking back to our hotel and we kind of saw this strip of clubs. And we were like, this looks cool, let's check it out.
Was it 5th Street or 6th Street?
Yeah, one of those. And then it just ended up being the best thing ever because I think our minds weren't totally in it.
Yeah. Because
it just like happened to be like,
the film festival, we weren't planning on it being a partying trip. We literally went to like pitch our scripts and stuff. Like we were like going there to work, right? That was like right when Unfazed like began.
Yeah,
that was like the origin of it. It was like we wrote these scripts and I'm like, well, we should have like a name. It was before the YouTube channel. It was like, well, this will be like our production company name.
Very true.
And it started as Unfazed Media and all that good stuff. But we went out there and like a bunch of stuff got canceled. Like we weren't able to get into the Breaking Bad writers. We weren't able to see the Nickelodeon guys.
I remember the one thing that really irked me was I thought I was doing a pitch.
Yeah.
But it was a thing where they criticized your pitch.
Yeah.
I wasn't even actually pitching. Like I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And so at that point I was like, this is not...
Yeah, the film... A lot of film festivals, unless you're already established guys, are a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
That's
It's
what we
like...
learned,
we submitted to so many different scripts where they said, at the very least, they'll send back written notes critiquing your script. A bunch of places didn't even give us that.
Yeah.
So you're just paying them $150 to submit a script. And like I said, this was years ago. We learned our lesson. But you got to learn somehow. And a lot of those are just a fucking money grab.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're just a money grab. And it's a bunch of washed up producers trying to pretend like they still have some relevant connections in a world that's totally different now.
And honestly, of the two that we did, I would say Great American Pitch Fest was way better in terms of actually getting your stuff. Yeah. Like you actually get to sit down with producers, people that are connected, and pitch them your scripts. And some of them were interested in my stuff, and they gave me their business cards and stuff. Like, so you actually made a connection. Austin. No, it's like it's all running on star power.
Totally,
but none of it's real.
It was cool because it's like, oh, there's James Franco. There's the dude that did L.A. Confidential.
We saw
his
Legends
movie.
or whatever.
Yeah, we saw Legend with Tom Hardy, and like that was fine from like a spectator film fan perspective. But it wasn't worth.
We were trying to get into business. We weren't trying to be like, ooh, film.
It was more like a thing for like nerdy SCC kids, which I guess we were. Yeah. But at that time, it was kind of like, we were looking to get in and be equals. But that was more of a just like, oh, come and look at us and we'll critique you. Mm-hmm. And we were like, fuck this shit. So once enough things got canceled, the Nickelodeon thing and the Breaking Bad thing really pissed me off because those were the only two things I really cared about. Yeah. And once we couldn't get into those, I'm like, peace, like So we ended up. I was so upset with it. I'm like, hey man, after like two or 3 days of it, I was like, this is bullshit. And you were like, let's go party. Yeah. And we actually partied on Halloween in Austin, which was one of my favorite Halloweens ever.
Yeah, it was great.
It was you were Rorschach, and when I still had hair, I was trying to be Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
Oh yeah, you just had the long skeleton.
Yeah. I literally just looked like a goober.
Yeah, you were great.
But we had so much fun, and like I said, we met some of the hottest, nicest girls in the freaking world. Yeah. And like also like it was just good. There was good live music. There was this electricity there that I haven't seen anywhere else at that level. Yeah. Like Vegas has it, Scottsdale sometimes has it, but this was almost like a more real party. It was just like, and I think a big part, like you said, was we weren't looking for it. Yeah. We just kind of stumbled in, and there was
when we came in, we still had like our badges on from the festival, so it looked like we were there for something, which we were, and I think people gravitated towards that more.
Yeah, and then I think we partied a good 3 nights in a row. Yeah. Because we were there for a while, and I remember thinking like I was just like, I could get used to this place.
Yeah, I know, it was great.
So Austin left a really positive impression, and I hope it's half as cool now with all the people.
I know.
You know, I mean, I hope it retains that glory, but like even if it's half as cool, it would still be fucking awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
And there was cool shit there too. Remember we did that like it was kind of like Zach Bagans thing, but not as legit. Yeah. It was that weird like they had the dead alien and stuff.
It was the Museum of the Weird.
That's right. Museum of the Weird.
Yeah. And they like had an alien on ice, and they had all these different like freak show things. I felt kind of bad. The dude that was like doing it was like a self-proclaimed freak, but like poor guy had like birth defects, and I was like, I felt kind of bad for him, but at least he had like a positive outlook.
Yeah.
So he was making it work.
It's a weird thing. Like guys with issues like that, they used to have to like lean into it, try to make money off it.
Yeah. It's like you feel sad, you feel bad, but luckily he seemed to be doing okay and had a good perspective on things. You know, good sense of humor, but which I think is critical for anyone. You know? Yeah. But that place was pretty cool, and then we had a lot of pretty good food. We ate at this place called Chupacabra. A bunch of times, and we had these good tacos, and I remember you had like a goat taco or something like that, and I was like, I wasn't into it. I think I tried one bite. I was like, all right, but that place had really good food. I remember they had good like burritos with queso. Remember the queso? Yeah, we ate there, and Austin was super cool. And mark my words, guys, weather permitting, health permitting, COVID permitting, we'll go to Austin in the next year.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that'd be freaking awesome. Yeah. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Sun up to sundown, the Flamingo's got the fun. From a buffet with a view to specialty dining with a real flair. The world-famous Radio City Rockettes, or the fun of Forever Plaid. The Flamingo Hilton, Las Vegas.
Didn't you remind him to get gas?
Me? You're the smart one.
Now what?
Relax.
We'll call
Tim. He owes us a favor.
Use 1-800-COLLECT. It'll save him $1 or $2.
Gotcha. 1-800-COLLECT.
Need a lift?
Oh, yeah, baby. Yes, ma'am.
We don't accept rides from strangers.
We do now. Yes, we do. Use your head. 1-800-COLLECT.
Save $1 or $2.
Or $3.
And we're back.
We're back.
Hello.
So we're gonna get into our usual stuff.
Yeah.
The things we always do, but first we gotta get on the sort of the more current event. thing.
Yeah.
So you saw Black Widow?
I went and saw Black Widow. Yeah, I went with some friends and had a pretty surprisingly good time. You know how I feel about the MCU? I think it's oversaturated. I think it's cheap. I think it lost a lot of value. I'm a purist. I love the old Tobey Maguire. Can't talk, guys. It's been so long. I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, the first two. And I love the original 2 X-Men. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck Daredevil and Thomas Jane Punisher. Like, the early 2000s stuff I love. And I love Iron Man. I even enjoyed some of the stuff with Captain America. But after a certain point, the Avengers stuff, it's too much. Like, it got cheap for me, and I just lost interest. I can only see New York get destroyed so many times. And it's like, it just got cheap. It turned into a Pez dispenser throwaway film for me, like all those, and I just lost interest.
Yeah.
So I don't have many positive things to say about the modern MCU, especially of the last, 8 years or so. But I thought Doctor Strange was cool. But I'll give him that. But Black Widow was surprisingly entertaining. I'll give it that. I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5. It was enjoyable, man. It had a coherent story. It had really well choreographed action. Everything kind of made sense, which I liked. I mean, yeah, there's some over the top stuff and some cliche Marvel stuff at the end. Like the last 20 minutes got kind of silly, but for the most part, it was a good movie. It was definitely one of the better ones of the last 5 years. So I was pleasantly surprised, and ScarJo and Leather, I'm like, all right, sign me up. Yeah,
it's cool. I could see that being good because I think. I was just telling you earlier, I think the trouble with a lot of these films is that there's just too much shit going on. Like you said, in the end, it just became too much. And
it's when it's just a shitstorm of CGI.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot more constraints with her character and her world because she doesn't have any powers. She's just like a really good spy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think less is more. You can derive a lot more from... from constraints rather than having Iron Man fight Doctor Strange, fight Thanos. It's just too there comes a point where none of it matters anymore.
That's why I'd much rather see a movie like that than something like Thor Ragnarok. Where it's just too much. It's like, whoa. And I watched that one and I know people like it. Sorry if you like it. To each their own. But to me, it's like sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah, no, it was too much. Ragnarok. Everyone loved Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok wasn't even Ragnarok. It was like this weird psychedelic. Everyone was hanging out. Like,
when Hulk starts talking too much, it's dumb as shit. Hulk needs to be a beast.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't like the tones are confusing. But I think the tone of this one might have
been a little better.
Yeah,
a little better, a little more serious. Yeah. And the opening sequence, I was like, wow, this might actually be good. Like there was this opening sequence of her childhood, and you get to meet her parents, and you see what they're involved with. And the action sequence in the beginning, I was like, holy shit, this is cool. It felt like the opening to a Bond movie or something. Cool. I was like, this is pretty darn good. And another thing I'll compliment it on, the director and whoever choreographed the fights did a freaking fantastic job. And I was telling James while we were watching the movie, if this director and team would have made the last Tomb Raider movie, it would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, cool.
It had that Tomb Raider, almost Uncharted, not quite, but that kind of feel for the action that was kind of over the top, but it worked within that world. And it was them sliding on rooftops and doing these crazy moves, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And had that been applied to Tomb Raider, it would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, so they did a good job. So if you're on the fence about it or you don't see movies that often, go in with an open mind, but I would say Black Widow was pretty darn good.
Was she actually a Black Widow in this? Because they never give her that seductress flair.
She was mostly a white widow in this one. Because she was in the snow through some of it, and she's mostly wearing a white outfit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to me because her name and her whole character is supposed to be that she lures guys in and then kills them, right?
Not at all.
But she the Marvel never touches on that because they don't want to give her that sex appeal.
God forbid she has sex appeal.
Yeah, right.
But she knows what she signed up for.
Does, yeah.
And that actually leads into one of our emails. It's I love ScarJo. I think she's a hottie. I think she's very talented. But go ahead and read this, and I think it's silly. If you go back.
An impending rubber.
No, different one.
Oh,
sorry.
Which one?
It was the highest paid actress one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my thing was, it's if you read it, I'm kind of I said, shut up. You know what you signed up for. So I'll let.
Scarlett Johansson criticizes Black Widow's hypersexualization in Iron Man 2.
Way back.
Why does she?
Because everyone likes to shit on things from 12 years ago.
Her name is Black Widow. That's the whole point of her character.
Yeah.
Black Widow, a.k.a. Natasha Romanoff. First appeared.
The character is so sexualized, you know?
You look back at Iron Man 2 and it was really fun. It had a lot of great moments in it. The character was that's the point of your character. A piece of meat, I'm so beyond being apologetic for this shit. Your character's supposed to be hot. That's literally the point of the name of the character.
And you're telling me they don't do that when Thor takes his shirt off?
Yeah.
Everyone knows what they signed up for. The girls like that, the guys like this. It's there's like they know what the fuck they signed up for. And my thing is, I don't feel bad for ScarJo at all.
Fuck you, ScarJo.
Because as much as I love her, as of the recording of this, she is the highest paid actress in Hollywood, and she's also a producer on these films. She produced Black Widow as an executive producer. She is the highest paid actress in Hollywood. So I don't want to hear her griping about the character that made her a multi-gazillionaire. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, you know what you signed up for. You're wearing a tight, skin-tight leather outfit with your amazing booty in it. It's like, you know what it is. You know what it is. She's a sexy character. You don't hear Hugh Jackman bitching about having to get fit and shirtless for Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure girls are drooling at him, you know? God. Anyway, my thing is, like...
It's progress.
Yeah.
Pretending like people...
Don't have a sex drive?
Don't have horny is not progress.
Yeah.
Don't have horny.
Don't
get horny.
I sensitive. I sensitive.
I have horny.
It's just annoying.
So dangerous.
It's annoying, man.
It is
and it's like, why is there something wrong with that? It's like, if you really were so opposed to it, you wouldn't have taken the role. And I just watched a video on the making of The Island, James Cameron's The Island, with Ewan McGregor and her. And back then, there was a part where they were supposed to have a sex scene, and she was supposed to be like, in bra and stuff. And she was telling, what's his name? Not James Cameron, I'm sorry, Michael Bay, that she thought it'd be better if she was naked for the scene.
Wow.
So it's like, that was her suggestion. So it's like, what's the big deal? I don't know. What's the big deal? You're an actress, there's certain boundaries, and you set those boundaries, but at the end of the day, you're signing up for that role.
I honestly think that a lot of these actors' PR people are telling them to say shit like this.
Yeah. You're trying to appear socially woke.
I don't believe that they're all suddenly like that.
No.
I really think it's like a strategic move to get more like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ever since Disney got involved with Marvel, it's like, all right, let's shove a glittery finger up their ass and make it really PC.
Fuck that, yeah.
It's weird, dude. It's weird. And my thing is, it's like, I think we should be able to appreciate Scarlett Johansson's sexiness in a tight leather outfit.
Yeah.
Just the same as someone wants to appreciate Thor taking his shirt off. Whatever, man. Whatever you're into. But
Scarlett,
they know what it is.
She wouldn't have gotten the job if she wasn't fucking hot.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just pretend like that shit doesn't exist.
Yeah, we can't have
a
a fat, hairy Black Widow.
That stuff is so tiresome.
Yeah.
I thought it would be done with like 2 years ago.
What's wrong? What's wrong with being sexy? What's wrong with being sexy?
It's shitty.
You know? At the end of the day, quit your bitch and it made you famous. Yeah, but it was a good movie, and she looks great.
That's good. I like the other chick, the Midsummer chick. She's good.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's really good.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Big Summer, but I liked her performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see her.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's worth a watch. Yeah, both actresses are great. You know what I really liked was the what was he called? The guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I was going to ask about him too. The bearded guy.
The Soviet protector, or whatever he's called. I forget his character's name. But he was one of my favorite parts. Like he's
cool.
I forget his character's name.
I don't know.
The Red Protector, or whatever the fuck he was. The Russian Captain America, whatever the fuck he was. He was great. I would love to see him have his own movie. I'm sure they won't because they tried to make him a little too humorous. But I thought he was awesome.
Yeah,
like he was really good.
How were the fake Russian accents?
A little heavy.
We were talking the other day about. I just rewatched Wind River last night by Taylor Sheridan, one of our favorite writer-directors.
He's great. Check him out. He did Hell or High Water.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
And it has Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, and it was so cool seeing her with just an American accent because I'm so used to her stupid I am the Scarlet Witch.
I am Russian.
Her dumb Russian accent. Yeah.
We need to drink vodka. We need to drink vodka now. And literally, that's what they do in the movie. They're like doing shots of vodka.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know Russians drink vodka, but come on, man.
I know. I remember seeing from the trailer the scene of them all doing vodka.
Yeah. Vodka.
Yeah. It's like, all right, we get it. You're Russian.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. So the one I was gonna talk about because I thought you were going from her skin tight outfit to the rubber.
This could apply as well. Yeah.
So an impending rubber apocalypse in the U.S. that could affect our economy. There's a lot of shortages of things because of COVID. There was a big shortage of chips for like computers and cars and stuff.
Yeah,
I kept hearing about that on NPR, my one source for news.
There was a big bike shortage too. Pretty much anything that was made in China that had to be shipped. China had to be shipped. Over to the U.S. and there were all these issues at the ports that were delaying things, and that's been a clusterfuck that they're finally getting past right now.
Yeah. Damn, weird.
Yeah.
Rubber is a critical raw material needed for car tires, personal protective equipment such as condoms, be honest, and many more everyday products. Anytime you're going anywhere, you're using rubber. Now, supply chain disruptions have thrown the rubber industry into a tailspin.
Supply chain disruptions.
We could be on the cusp of a rubber apocalypse, Ohio State University professor Katrina Cornish told CNBC. Rubber producers are facing climate change. What? Yeah. Is that really? Isn't it in a controlled environment?
Maybe some of the trees?
Yeah, I don't know.
The rubber trees?
A destructive fungus. What the hell?
I don't know, man.
Bizarre. Like,
a lot of that seems like an excuse for something else.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly supply chain issues.
Yeah. The global economy remains dependent on Asia for 90% of the natural rubber supply.
That's the problem, is being too dependent on Asia.
We're all dependent on Asia, yeah.
Because if Asia pulls the plug on something, you're fucked. It's like, that's why I do think more things should be made in the country of your origin. Like,
Trump tried.
Yeah, make American. Yeah. It's like, I don't see what's wrong with that, because people would get their items way quicker, and everyone's like, well, it's so expensive. I'm like, yeah, but if China pulls the plug on something or has a shipping issue, then you're fucked.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's like you try to find shoes that are made in America, guys. Good luck. Like, it's like, I know there's companies that do it, but it's like so much of that shit comes from China. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, make it in America, dude. It's like things would get here way fucking quicker, and also you would create new jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't see why that's such a radical idea.
I know. I feel like everyone would be and should be on board for that. The right certainly likes things to be made in America, and the left is always like, oh, I feel so bad that this Chinese slave made my phone. So it's like, all right, so let's make it in America.
Make it here, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And everyone's like, well, it's cheaper, it's more cost effective. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, is that what's best for the consumer?
Yeah.
It's what's best for the company to save money and to get, more profit. But, like, people love that made in America stuff. And it's like, or whatever country you're in, man. It's like, doesn't it make more sense to create jobs in your country and, like, get the product to customers quicker?
Totally. I would like to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, forgive us for our radical ideas here, guys. Yeah, we're fucking wacky.
All right, so this I saw on Twitter. I think Zack Snyder tweeted it, and it blew up.
Yeah, I think he was joking, but
yeah. The Batman and Catwoman oral sex scene.
So it's supposed to be a scene where Batman goes down on Catwoman for some reason. I don't know.
Well, it makes sense. There's always, like, sexual tension between them. But when would that have happened? Is he inferring that...
I'd rather see Harley Quinn blow Batman.
True.
But that's just me.
Well, now we have some idea of what the Snyder cut of Harley Quinn would look like. Zack Snyder has weighed in on the debate that's been raging since Monday of whether Batman would go... Yeah, he would go down on Catwoman.
Oh, yeah. He'd go crazy. I mean, he's already got the mask ready.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let us clarify, yes, there is at least a semblance of a reason for this. In a recent interview with Variety, Harley Quinn co-creator and executive producer Justin Halpern revealed that DC axed an oral sex scene between the Caped Crusader and his sometimes paramour on the animated series.
Yeah,
that's a little weird.
So when Disney takes over, he's just going to pound Robin in the ass.
I could see that in like a comic because they get pretty dark, but not in the animated series.
Yeah, that's a weird one. It would be one of those anime ones.
Yeah, it's incredibly gratifying and free to be using characters that are considered villains because you just have so much more leeway. Halpern said, "What a creep." A perfect example of that is in the third season of Harley, when we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman, and DC was like, "You can't do that. You can't do that." But like, heroes don't do that. Come on, let heroes get some. So we said, are you seeing heroes are just selfish lovers?
Oh, they're trying to make it a thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think it's just the whole sex scene in a cartoon that they're upset about.
I know, yeah, that's a stupid...
They're trying to make it like, wait, you say, he should be blowing, or she should be blowing him?
Yeah, it's obvious they just don't want that content.
Yeah.
No, it's that we sell customers toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy if Batman is also going down on someone.
Yeah.
Weird, yeah.
It's a weird thing to even talk about.
It is really...
Clearly he would.
Of course.
Yeah, Catwoman's a hottie. Any incarnation, they were all pretty rocking. Yeah, I think realistically, I think Catwoman would blow him first, though.
For sure.
But Batman,
Batman's always resistant. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no, and then she'd be like, this will change your bat mind.
Yeah.
Let me blow your bat load. But
there could be lots of pussy jokes.
Yeah, a lot of pussy.
Catwoman.
Pussy cat.
Yeah.
Her pussy would purr, and then he'd like stick one of his horns in there.
Oh god,
yeah.
Beautiful. And then he'd be all regretful. No, I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have.
Alfred.
Master Wayne, I need you to wrap it up.
Oh god. I'm sorry, Alfred.
Dinner is waiting, Master Bruce. Please wash your hands this time. Okay, so this was our year. I don't think is included, but we'd have to look it up. But here are the cars you would own from the year you were born. So I was saying we should look up cool cars from the year we were born. Like just Google it because it was a cool idea.
Cool car,
and then pick what we would drive from the year we were born.
All right, I'm 1994. All right, so the best-selling cars: Ford F-Series full-size pickups, Chevrolet, Ford Taurus,
Nice.
Honda Accord, Ford Ranger. That's kind of cool. Toyota Camry. Hey,
Nice.
I drive a Toyota Camry, so it's perfect.
Very
and
nice.
it's from you.
Yes. And let's see what we got here. We probably have images here, hopefully. No, maybe not. I wanted images, damn it.
Just a list. What's your year? I forget. Was it
93. I'm 93.
Okay.
I'm 93. Let's see.
Cool scars from 93.
Ooh. Let's see.
Okay.
I kind of want to... Let's see, we're looking... I'll try to tell you guys what we're seeing here. Is it a gallery? Okay, we got the Acura NSX. Pretty cool. Not really totally my style. Ooh, the BMW 3251.
Not bad.
Or 325i, sorry. BMW 850i. Pretty cool. Ooh,
that's cool.
Chevy Corvette ZR1 in like a midnight blue. I'm kind of leaning towards that one.
Sick, yeah.
I like that one.
Speaking of Batman.
Let's see what else we got. The Corvette is my favorite so far, and then that first BMW.
Eagle Vision.
Lame. Dodge Intrepid, lame. Dodge Stealth R Turbo or RT Turbo. It's
like,
alright.
Yeah,
it's alright.
Looks a little like
kind of hot,
ghetto, yeah.
kind of Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
the
kind of
Dodge
cool.
Viper RT10. Pretty cool. I heard they have a lot of issues under the hood.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Ford Bronco. Go out camping in
There
a
you
Ford
go.
Bronco.
I think the
That's an iconic one.
that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like the OJ one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Corvette gets my
I think so.
my
yeah.
seal of approval. Let's try to find one like this for 94. See what you'd get. Let's see.
10 best cars.
Okay, there we go.
Car and driver.
It's all right. That's a let's see.
Acura.
Acura. I don't know what it is though. Is this a list or is it a?
I don't know.
This
This is all about Acura.
Okay, it's hard to find.
I guess that's the best one.
It's hard to find a cool slideshow for you.
Most popular sedans. Kelly Blue Book. Now we're just like looking to buy a car.
I think we can agree that Corvette was pretty rad.
I think it's serendipitous that the car I drive is from my year.
That's
so
true.
I'm going with that. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
it's meant to be.
Very cool.
Beautiful. All right, what else we got going on here?
Oh, baby boy. We got some cool stuff on the horizon for you guys. I'm pretty excited. We can't talk about it quite yet, but I think you're going to be pretty excited.
We're always planning
in terms of content and in terms of a few other treats for you guys too. So
yeah, true.
Stay tuned as always.
Let's see.
Yeah, what else did I send? We have a catch-all folder of like.
We do. Oh yeah,
Different
Disco
ideas.
Foo Fighters. What is
Oh
it?
yeah, so the Foo Fighters are coming out with a Bee Gees tribute album for Record Store Day, which is coming up here pretty quick. I want to say like July 23rd or some shit like that. But it's pretty cool. It's like a majority of Bee Gees songs, and then I think like a Barry Gibb solo song, and then a few live cuts from their last album, Medicine at Midnight. But I definitely want to get it if I get my hands on it. A Record Store Day exclusive.
That is
and
cool.
I just love the versatility of Foo Fighters, man. Like the fact that they're so freaking successful and they're such an amazing band, and they're like, oh, let's just do a Bee Gees tribute. Like, what an odd thing for Foo Fighters to do.
Sick, yeah.
I wish more bands would do fun stuff like
Just do what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, why the hell can't Foo Fighters make a disco record?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why not? It doesn't
right.
always have to be hard rock. It's like, mix it up, you know? Oh, McCartney. Paul McCartney.
Write a picture of McCartney.
Getting some Poo-Tang.
Oh, man.
Love McCartney.
That is the one thing I'll say that is cool about Weezer. They do like really cool covers and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't listen to their music.
Yeah.
But
I have an interesting, like, perception and love / hate of Weezer. I don't hate them anymore. I went through a phase where when I was younger, like the whole like Beverly Hills era and all that, like I really liked Weezer. Like I thought they were freaking awesome. And then there was a point after that, like that Pork and Beans era, which was still pretty good. Like what the fuck was it called? The Red Album or whatever.
Yeah.
That was an era that was still pretty good. And then after that, like I just was over them. I was just like sick of hearing, you know, Say It Ain't So at karaoke places, and I was like fucking just burned out on them.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like them for a while, and then within the last, I would say like 3 years or so, like they've really impressed me. Like their most recent album, really freaking good. Check it out. And then just some of the stuff they've been playing on 93.3, our local alternative station, like has been really freaking good.
That's cool.
So they've. I kind of feel like they've matured and they're taking more risks with their music.
Yeah.
And I'm back around to like really liking them again.
I'll have to check out their newer stuff.
Yeah.
As like a songwriter, their songs strike me as written very quickly.
Yeah.
Like they don't put a lot of thought into them.
The albums do come out fast.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They like make stuff where I could see it being a little on the fly.
Yeah, and the melodic stuff seems almost like it's for kids. Like it seems like a lot of it seems like sing along type shit.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
weird. So there was definitely an era of that where I was like, I was over him. I didn't like him. I would even say I hated him at a point. And then now I hear some of their stuff, like all my favorite songs. Like that song's great.
Yeah.
And I could see what you mean on someone being kind of simple, but I definitely like their new stuff a whole heck of a lot more than the stuff from like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to check
and then if you go way back to like Buddy Holly era and stuff, that was cool. Like when they were new, like Pinkerton and stuff. That was a good album, you know. But kind of a love-hate thing with Weezer.
That was sick.
Yeah. What else we got?
On the other end, well, before just jumping off of that, you mentioned it earlier that I should mention, and I appreciate that.
Sure.
Is the what was it? I found it randomly. It was really nice. I think it was literally just last week, 1 week ago from yesterday, that I was driving and I was listening to my friend's song that she had just released on YouTube, and then the next song was this leaked, unfinished track from the album that Jeff Buckley did with Elizabeth Fraser, who, I forget, she was in some weird band with this other girl, and they were known for having lyrics that had like dummy words, like none of the words were real, but like it sounded like English, but it didn't actually make sense.
Almost like a placeholder.
Yeah, it was weird. It's kind of this kitschy, weird thing. But anyway, I mean, Jeff Buckley and her were together, and they didn't get to do a lot of stuff together because he died, and that kind of messed up her career too. I don't think she ever fully recovered from that. Really sad.
Yeah.
Jeff Buckley's great, just all around Renaissance man of music.
He's
and
awesome.
So there was this leaked track called "All Flowers Bend Towards the Sun," and because this was also unfinished, it had a lot of unfinished lyrics and just like words in sentences that didn't make sense. And the I don't know if you checked it out, but I said
I haven't listened to it yet.
I'll have to show it to you.
I love the concept, but I need to hear it.
It's interesting. The chorus is beautiful, and like the title of the song is what they sing in the chorus. That's the only like lyric that is set in stone, pretty much. But it's also cool because it's very just visceral and genuine, because they are just random takes that are kind of noodling around.
Yeah.
So certain verses will be almost disjunct, because like Jeff Buckley will do just sort of this little line, and then Elizabeth will come in and she does these crazy, like really emotional, she's like yelling and shit.
Yeah.
And I almost appreciate it more than like a finished song. Like, it sounds finished because they're both just such good musicians that like all the takes are golden.
You could tell it was still like in its creation.
Yeah, you can tell it's like doodles of lines and which
is still demo form.
Yeah, which I almost appreciate more in a way.
Yeah,
and it's just so like intimate to like
that's cool.
Hear that from them. So anyway, I didn't want to mess too much with their lines because I thought they were cool, but I wrote like released intelligible lyrics over their stuff. That's awesome. I recorded it yesterday.
Hell yeah.
And it'll be out soon, so
very excited.
It's a gorgeous song.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Love Jeff Buckley.
And you also did a version of Smile.
Yeah, I did Smile. I don't know. I recorded yesterday, which was Friday, and on Thursday I was just listening to that song, and I was just like realizing how beautiful it was. Yeah. And I just wanted to record it.
The Charlie Chaplin one, not the Brian Wilson one.
Nah, that's right. The Charlie Chaplin. Yeah. Dude, speaking of another Renaissance man, Charlie Chaplin, dude, holy shit.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Tragic figure.
Yeah.
He did it all.
He was.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Buster Keaton fan.
Yeah.
I would actually say I like Buster even a tiny bit more than Charlie.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Buster
just because he did all those crazy ass stunts. Mm-hmm. Like if you look up some of Buster Keaton's stuff, like holy shit.
He's definitely more of a daredevil.
Yeah.
Chaplin's more of just like the heartwarming.
I heard that Buster Keaton allegedly got his name from Houdini, because Buster Keaton's family was in like vaudeville and stuff, and they crossed paths with different performers, and I guess his parents had met Houdini at some point, and Buster Keaton at the time like fell down in front of them and did like a spin or something, and Houdini was like, the kid's a real buster.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Damn. I believe that.
Yeah, so that's the mythology.
I like Buster Baxter from Arthur.
I love Buster Baxter, and Muffy with her big hairy muff. Sorry, guys.
That show is still on.
Guys.
It blows my mind that Arthur is still on.
It's still being made?
Still making new shows.
Wow.
Yeah. Mr. Ratburn is like gay, he has like a husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's an odd thing to add. Of all the characters.
I know.
Yeah. DW's on the street selling her body. Yeah.
None of them have aged for 20 years.
Very three guys.
Yeah.
Mr. Ratburn's just a flaming homosexual.
Yes, he literally is.
That's funny.
I know. You would be the one. I don't know why. It makes sense in a way.
Yeah, it's perfect. Well, you gotta love Arthur.
Man. All right, well, going from Arthur to Waffle House punishment. What happened here? Full of waffles but devoid of life. Fantasy football loser punished with 15 hours in Waffle House?
Yeah,
what is this? Okay, I'm interested. Fantasy football isn't real, hence the name. But it can have real-life consequences. Lee Sanderlin knows firsthand about the pain that can come from a last-place fantasy football finish. Sanderlin, a journalist from the Clarion Ledger in Jackson, Mississippi, finished last in his 2020 fantasy football league. His punishment? Spend 24 hours in a Waffle House with 1 hour subtracted for each waffle he could eat.
Oh, God.
Jesus, that sounds awful.
It sounds awful, yeah.
He ended up eating 9 waffles and spent 15 hours in a Waffle House.
And he, like, tweeted it, like, on his journey, like, just the miserable experience.
Oh, my God.
So he's like, I'm coming to you live from Brandon, Mississippi, Waffle House. I, a total loser, came in last place in my fantasy football league. And then he's got, like, a picture of the miserable Waffle House. As punishment, I spent 24 hours in a Waffle House. A little less. Every waffle I eat shaves an hour off the clock. It's 4:07 Central Time.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, that sounds fucking miserable.
You managed to eat 2 waffles in the first hour. Just 2. I feel like I could do more than 2 in the first hour.
Oh yeah, I'd go in super hungry and I'd be like, all right, we're shaving as much time off as we can.
Especially if you knew it was coming, which it sounds like he did.
Yeah,
like don't eat anything like the day before.
Yeah,
and just drink a lot of water and then go.
Expand the tummy.
We could do that.
No, we could do it. Yeah. I mean, that kind of food though, waffles, like that is a punishment. Like waffles I can do like 1 or 2 waffles like a couple times a year, but they're not my favorite by any means.
This is so pathetic. He managed to eat 2 waffles in the first hour, but it got much harder from there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, look at him.
I don't like it.
Oh man. 4 waffles down. Been here 1.5 hours, so that means I have 18.5 to go.
Yeah.
I am already in immense discomfort. Please, somebody, launch me into the sun. It is a funny punishment. It's not like it's not bad. You're just at the Waffle House, but it's like ridiculous to be the fucking.
I bet that server loved it. She's like, well, same guys at my table for 15 hours.
Yeah, really. Oh man.
Anyway, and I think he finally left it. What did it say? 15 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little hellacious because some of the ones around here, they get rough, man. You ever been in a Waffle House at like 2 in the morning?
Yeah, they get depressing.
Pretty fucking
Denny's and
ghetto.
IHOP. Yeah.
Waffle House is like the ghettoest of them, though.
They really are. Yeah.
It's like you see videos of like go on YouTube and look up Waffle House fight. I'm sure there's like 150 videos from the last week.
What is it about those like 24-hour breakfast places?
Man, I don't know.
So sad.
I feel like Denny's is probably a bit more chill.
Denny's is a little bit more chill, but it still has that like the waitresses are always like heavy smokers in their 50s.
Yeah, they're putting ash in your pancake. You know?
I don't know what it is, dude.
Eggs over my hammy, motherfucker.
Our depressing restaurant was that like Julio Bertros or whatever at Pavilions.
Yeah.
And there's just like it's in the weirdest, most uncomfortable spot, like in the middle of this huge parking lot.
Yeah.
So it's just like literally this
that
concrete.
was 24 hours.
Yeah. It's this concrete field around you, and then there's just little Filibertos in the middle of it,
like next to a Home Depot. Yeah. And I remember being there a few times, just like after Talking Stick, just being like knocked out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, an enchilada.
Yeah, we would go there after Talking Stick because it was right there. It was like down the street.
Yeah.
And then we'd go there a couple times after SEC.
Yeah.
But I think we moved on pretty quick.
Yeah. And there also used to be another equivalent to that's actually a little nicer. Was a Five and Diner. And that was just like the old 1950s themed diner. And there was one there. The food was marginal. There's a much better one in Central Phoenix. But that place shut down pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. That was sad.
I can only handle so much Fats Domino.
Yeah, I went to that particular one, I think just once in memory, and I had a pretty bad stomachache afterwards. And my stomach's pretty, like, I have like a dog stomach. Like, barely anything.
That's impressive.
So
I'm the opposite.
That really,
all right, guys. One more commercial break, and then we'll wrap it up with whatever the fuck we talk about.
Prepare yourself for Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. The evil Empire has struck back with a vengeance, and a new villain, the crime lord Shizor, schemes to replace Darth Vader as the Emperor's second-in-command. With Han Solo held frozen in carbonite by bounty hunter Boba Fett, it's the rebellion's darkest hour. Now, join Jedi warrior Luke Skywalker, hard-charging Chewbacca, and go undercover with heroic pilot Dash Rendar and his booming Outrider. But can Han Solo be freed and Shizor be stopped? Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Look for the authentic figures and vehicles from Kenner.
Right now at McDonald's, we've got a surprise. You can get a personal-sized pepperoni pizza for just 99 cents. That's right, a personal-sized pepperoni pizza for just 99 cents with the purchase of any soft drink. But you better hurry, because after April 4th, this deal's gone.
Only 99 cents. This is a great offer. Didn't know I knew magic, did you? Hands are quicker than the eye.
At McDonald's today.
See?
Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed those commercials as always. So, I've been in an interesting place in my life because I realized that, I mean, and this goes for pretty much every young adult, but I managed to stretch mine on for too long. I'm 26, and in the spring I just graduated with my bachelor's. And so that being said, I'd pretty much been in school my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something you don't really consider.
I was thinking of that scene in Tommy Boy where he's like, Dad, I was in college for 8 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one's in college for 8 years except for doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever the line is.
Yeah, I did that. I was Tommy Boy. Yeah, I stretched it on for so long because I hated it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I gotta do it, you know?
Yeah.
You
did good. You wrapped it
thanks,
up,
man. Yeah,
you wrapped it up. You wrapped it up.
And so that being said, I got like an adult job with benefits and pretty decent pay. Usually, I'm of the mind, and I think you are too, where I'll do like I'm totally comfortable with doing like the minimum amount of effort and getting as much money as I need to scrape by, as long as I can still do creative projects.
Totally.
And stuff. Totally happy.
Totally.
But finally, I broke down. I'm getting like essentially what is, you know, a 9-to-5 job with again like good salary and benefits like insurance and all that stuff.
Yes. Good feeling.
Yeah, and you just got a pretty good, decent job.
I did as well. Yeah, I got same kind of deal. A job that I'm very happy with a company that's very cool, and it still, you know, allows us time to do this kind of stuff. But it also, you know, puts money in the bank and pays rent and keeps the vehicles going and gives us health and dental, which is huge. Yeah. So I'm definitely, the job that I have now is, I would say, the best job in terms of day jobs that I've ever had.
That's awesome.
You know, the money's fine, the benefits are really good, and the people are really cool. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm definitely, I think both of us were kind of in a slump for a while with at least that part of our life.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I was avoiding it.
And it's hard to be focusing on that kind of stuff and also bring you guys content. So it's like, if I can have a good schedule and I know that we can stay afloat financially and that we can kind of get a routine going, it ultimately benefits you guys too, because it's like we're not struggling. We were struggling, but now it's like we don't have to worry about struggling as much financially, and we can like focus on the important stuff and also getting into a rhythm to make content for you guys.
Yeah, we will have fairly similar hours, similar schedules, and we're thinking of moving it together potentially to do more content more frequently.
Yeah, we're talking about getting an Unfazed pad together so we could still work our stuff and then come home and we've got the Unfazed studio in our place.
Yeah.
You know?
And at first, like a while back when we started talking about this, we were like, yeah, it'd be cool to get a house, but the housing market's like insane right now.
It's crazy.
Everyone is moving here.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone you know to not move to Arizona. There's too many people here right now.
And like the prices are like
it's ridiculous.
Crazy, yeah.
So we definitely have to get an apartment, which is cool. We both almost prefer it.
Yeah.
I was actually talking earlier about how I have a lot of dreams where like there's like I'm in some house, I know it's my house, and there's always like windows open and doors that are unlocked, and I'm like trying to get secure and I can't get secure.
Yeah.
So apartments are great because when I was in my apartment down in Tucson, there's just one way in, one way out, like one window. And that might sound depressing to some people, but to me that was so cozy.
Yeah, you could get everything locked down.
So much security,
Yeah. So we'll make our place very Seinfeld-esque.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, and it's good for you guys too, because it's like, think about that. After a day of working, we don't have to have a long commute, because right now we live like 35 minutes apart.
Yeah.
You know, depending on traffic, longer sometimes. And it's like we usually meet up once a week to work on stuff, sometimes less. But if we're in the same place, it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to bring stuff to you guys.
Exactly.
And to do vlogs, to do podcasts, to do fill in the blank.
So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
So that's a goal we're working towards for the fall.
Very exciting.
Very excited. Yeah.
So stay tuned, guys.
Good things are happening with the personal lives, with the channel, and things are starting to just feel a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because last year was rough, man. Last year was really rough. It was like, it was financially tough. You had all the COVID stuff. You know, we had, family stuff going on, and it was like, it was a rough year. And it's like trying to find the silver lining in that became harder and harder. And I feel like this year there's just a lot more help and a lot more positive things to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm pumped. We're definitely seeing that in the world again. Like we went to the mall earlier, and it's the busiest I've ever seen it. Everyone's itching to get out and do things again.
Hell yeah!
I keep seeing on the news that like people are reluctant to get jobs.
Yeah,
which I understand, but like eventually they'll just have to. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it because like they had unemployment hiked up for a bit, and then that went away, and then I think a big part of that, and I think I mentioned this on a podcast before. After so many big companies and even smaller companies let people go and laid them off in kind of a harsh way when COVID hit, a lot of people became resentful. I know I did.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at these companies and you're like, fuck you, I'm not going to go back to you. And you kind of realize that can go away real quick. Like a job with security and benefits and everything can be yanked away real fast. If the shit hits the fan, they don't care about the little guy. At the end of the day, they care about making a profit, especially a big, nameless, faceless corporation. That seems so great when you sign on with them. And at the end of the day, you're just a fucking number. And and I think a lot of people felt that, and they felt very slighted and very, very hurt. And I think a lot of people are like, man, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to something that I'm not at least a little bit passionate about. So I think a lot of people got pissed off and were like, fuck that, I'm going to ride this train as long as I can.
I think so,
And I think you're going to see a lot more people kind of going their own way and trying to find things that they're at least a little bit interested in and not just, punching a time clock. And, maybe some other people going after their real passions, too, and creating their own businesses.
Yeah. COVID really hit me financially, too. I went from, I was in that apartment by myself, paying for it by myself, and I still had a little left over, and I had... Max was considering doing trade school, so he had stopped his role in Lefebvre Bros for the time being. I was pulling the channel, meaning I was getting all the money, which is really nice, because I was in school and was helping pay for all that. And then at the same time, I had just, in January right before COVID happened, I just gotten this, like a teaching job with a third party like I normally do, like private lesson type thing. And, as soon as COVID happened, I moved back here, which meant I started doing videos with Max again, so we split Little Favors again. And the third party that I had signed up with to teach lessons was a fairly small company, and I'd never had this happen before, but like there was so little reason for, since I was a new employee, I only had like a 2 or 3 students with them, I think. And there was just so little reason for us to communicate with each other that we just stopped. Like, I never officially quit. We just stopped talking to each other. There was no point. Like, all my students just, like, stopped showing up. Because, like, when they offered Zoom, it had been so recent that they had signed up for it. They were just, like, not down. And so, like, at that point, it was like, all right, goodbye. Like, it was really weird. So I went from, like, having pretty good income to, like, nothing. It was weird.
We were both in the same boat. I was... Battery's dying, guys. We'll be right back. Alright, guys, and we are back. I apologize, we had to change the battery. It usually gets us about a little over an hour, and then we're kind of walking on thin ice.
The indicator does go from full to like nothing. It's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any warning. It literally shows 100%, 100%, 100%, and then the last like 10 seconds it starts blinking red, and I'm like, we gotta go, guys, sorry. So if you see us do that, usually I'll tell you it's battery, but we're working on it. But anyway, as I was saying, pre-COVID, we were flying high. We both had good jobs. I had a great job. I had, I was very content. I was almost too content. It was like it was a very cushy office job, and things were really good. But it like totally turned things upside down for me. But at the end of the day, it kind of was a good thing. It's like it was shitty and it was tough. But I was able to, with the severance we got, I was able to take some cool trips. We were able to 110% focus more on Unfazed. Because it's like I had lost my full-time job. So I was like, but I was still able to stay afloat for a bit because, we got good severance and we had some stocks and stuff we could play with for a little bit. It wasn't a ton, but it was enough to like be okay for a little bit. So I was able to like really just start focusing on this stuff, which we're really passionate about. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I got to spend more time with my grandma before she passed away, when normally I would have been working a full-time job. So that was another blessing in disguise. And I think sometimes shitty stuff like that happens, but maybe it's kind of good that it went down that way.
I think so, yeah. Being in a rough spot does breed like creativity because you're trying to like dig yourself out. And you think of things that you wouldn't have thought of. Right when Max and I started Lefebvre Bros, we were both at like super low places. We were at that apartment, and it was Max and me and our dad all living in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's like literally I was sleeping in the living room, and I didn't have a car, and I remember I'd like, it was the middle of the summer, I would walk to this like Burger King and to Fry's, the grocery store, like apply for jobs and shit.
Yeah.
Like I was like straight up poor.
Yeah.
And so we were like, hey, this video did well. Why don't we try to ride on this?
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like one of the best things we could have
Ever.
done.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was in like one of the lowest places, and Max was in a pretty dark place too. But we just decided to go all in on this thing, and I didn't work.
That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And if any of you guys are in spots like that, it's like I know when we had started Unfazed a while back, and like you guys know, it was just like a catch-all. It was before you guys were even involved. It was literally like we'd once in a blue moon record something, and that was like our folder basically. We'd throw it in with the Unfazed folder, and then finally after shit hit the fan with COVID and lost the job and everything, it was like, hey, let's get back on this. Let's try to make it into something. And I do think like we've really made a lot of progress. I know it's not there yet. I know it's not where we want it to be, but baby steps. And then those started to turn into bigger steps. Mm-hmm. And I am really proud of it. Like I said, I know it's like we don't quite have the viewership yet at all. But every one of you who does watch, I do really appreciate you guys. And I know we're still small, but I think if we keep going the way we're going, like the only way is up.
Yeah. And like our viewership is. Yeah, it's humble. It's humble and grateful,
but very loyal.
But exactly, super loyal. Like everyone's so tight, and it's such a strong and cool community of like different, but still in a special way, like-minded people.
Yeah.
Again, when we were at the mall today, we always feel so alienated.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people who just walk by. We're like, I don't. They're just in a different realm of reality.
I don't relate to your plastic weird vibe.
Yeah. And we were seeing how many people we would walk by that looked like they were having a good time or not. And
few and far between.
Yeah. And most of them looked like they were just like they're always annoyed with something.
Yeah,
they were on the phone like something was wrong. Like you're just hanging out at the mall, like trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many people in the world that we don't understand how you got to the place you're at and to the decisions you've made and to your beliefs.
There's a lot of people I just don't connect with, but one thing I'm really grateful for with this platform is all the cool people we've been able to meet that normally in a million years we would never cross paths with.
Exactly. I think it's really easy to feel alone in this world, as like deep and sad as that can be, but I think Unfazed has brought a lot of people together that sort of have this similar understanding.
I love it,
And that's a super special thing. So
because when it started, when we started getting serious on it, I can almost pinpoint the video when we started getting serious on it. It was recorded in the same room over here with the guitar in the back, and it was the coronavirus survival guide.
Yeah.
And I think that was the video that started to kind of get the snowball going that built more momentum.
Yeah.
Because from there we started just doing it more frequently. Yeah. And we started uploading more frequently. We started having more ideas we were willing to take chances on. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And like I said, I know it's nothing, it might not sound groundbreaking to some of you guys, but at least for me, it was a big deal. I was like, wow, I'm really proud of this stuff. I started getting some, positive feedback, and it was most importantly fun.
Yeah. And
I was like, I was in a pretty down place in my life just overall. It was like, fill in the blank, relationships, family, work, feeling like shit. I was not in the best place, and the channel was something I could look forward to. And it was like one of the better things that I think I've, had happen in my life was just focusing on something like Unfazed.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And I often think about, like, it's easy to say this when you don't have it, but I really do. I think about a lot of the super mainstream YouTubers that get like millions of views per video, and they're all like kind of vapid surface level stuff. I almost don't want to get millions of views all the time, because that would mean that the content is kind of heartless.
Yeah.
And there's
some stuff that gets obviously, clearly, we're doing it because we want to share with people. I want to grow the channel and be successful. 110%. That's stupid not to. But at the same time, you look at this stuff, it's almost like big movies versus independent films.
Exactly.
It's finding that happy balance between popularity and between having good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like finding that sweet spot, Mm-hmm. So...
But building this community is really a special thing. And I think we can still build it from there.
Oh, 100%.
But we're never going to be like a super mainstream, what is up, guys?
Yeah,
and I think that's we're kind of against that.
And if we are, I think we
failed.
Burn the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do want to grow the channel. So I appreciate all you guys who do share, and like anybody that you think might vibe with our community or with our group, our Unfazed crew. Like, feel free to share our videos, man. Get us out there, because we do want to grow. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I am very happy with the group we've cultivated.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And we want anyone else in this world who might also go to the mall and feel like they don't vibe with anyone. We want them to know there's a home.
We got the like-minded crew.
That's
here.
right, the Unfazed crew. We're all Unfazed here.
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, though, Unfazed Review is a big part of my life, and we're not planning on abandoning it at any time. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So if it works out that we get an apartment together, you're going to see a surge of content. You'll probably see more content anyway
than you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, as always, like, subscribe, and remain unfazed. We love you.